I am Ivy, 13 years old, and this twat waffle is fatuous taffy.
Welcome to another video by brilliant expat Daffy.
Meet Expat Daffy, and apparently he is brilliant.
Hi folks.
This is because, like Flurfs know the earth is flat, Daffy knows the moon landings were faked. When Dead Kennedy in Space asked him if he was interested in a live debate, one of his answers was this.
All you can do is character bash and denigrate and insult all the ones who've got you beat.
In all honesty, I think Expat Daffy is a very unpleasant person and also a hypocrite. Let me show you all the insults he hurled at Kevin Kennedy in the total of 15 minutes he spoke inside his reply video.
An Apollo nutter, this idiot, other nutcases, stupid, idiot, Mr. Brain Dead Kennedy, idiot, Mr. Brain Dead Kennedy, but idiots like you, what a bunch of morons, Mr. Brain Dead Kennedy, idiot, Brain Dead Kennedy, Mr. Deadhead Kennedy, Brain Dead Kennedy, Mr. Deadhead Kennedy, Mr. Brain Deadhead Kennedy, idiot, Brain Dead Kennedy, Mr. Brain Dead Kennedy, bloody arsehole in front, idiot, quite right, idiot, you can piss off, idiot, stupid, you stupid bloody moron, you stupid arsehole, get it right, idiot, you're not pretty, idiot, something wrong with that bloody head of yours, well, idiot, it's hanging with the head with the white bloody coats, you stupid idiot, bloody arsehole warlord, idiot, what, arsehole, idiot, idiotic, stupid, fools, you idiots, idiot, you stupid idiot, no, idiot, a mentally insane arsehole, idiot, moron, idiot, Brain Dead Kennedy, idiot, nutter, mentally insane arsehole, NASA, nutters, isn't it? It's always the same with you, moron, a mentally insane arsehole, Dead Brain Kennedy, I leave it in your hands, Mr. Dead Brain Kennedy, you are the most stupid, idiotic arsehole I've ever come across. Hi folks, welcome to another video by the brilliant expat Daffy. Yes, that's what I said, the brilliant expat Daffy.
Listen, pal, let's discuss this thing sane.
On YouTube, this man goes as the brilliant expat Daffy. He likes to insult people who go against him, and sometimes I do the same. But in this video I will be polite, and in case I slip up, in the top of the screen, there are 2 insult counters to keep score, one for me, one for Daffy. And to be correct, for the name I called him before the intro, I already have 1. Can you believe that Daffy has also written a book?
This is a book titled Alien Mysteries Solved, with the word alien inappropriately capitalized, allegedly written by our dear Daffy. The description says, irrefutable evidence of messages received and alien activity on planet Earth. The author assures readers that this book will deliver 1. To NASA, great embarrassment. 2. To UFO/alien enthusiasts, confirmation and satisfaction. 3. To all doubters and skeptics, inevitable defeat as they will not be up against the author of this book but against powers far more advanced than all of us. This is what he believes in. He believes that he spoke with aliens. Daffy's book has 1 star on Amazon, the result of a single review titled From Ice to Liquid Magma? The review is not a very positive one, as you can see.
Now, Dead Kennedy's encounter with Daffy.
Okay, Mr. Empty Head Kennedy, here's the first photo I started out with in my earlier days, examining these fake Apollo photos. Now what I can tell you is this photo here now, which is supposed to be in the first photo taken after they landed on the moon. This photo, thanks to the brilliant expat Daffy's discoveries, this photo has now been deleted.
No, it isn't. Here it is. It is literally everywhere on the internet. I just googled it.
Now what I can tell you, Mr. Dead Ed Kennedy, is at the time I first examined this, I could find 18 anomalies in this photo proving it to be 100% fake.
Not a surprise, because it says everywhere. It is a composite picture.
As I said, initially, over 18 anomalies discovered in that photo. I won't be wasting too much time on all of them here. I'll give you the link to the video I done 6 years ago on it. What I will do, I'll show you a few of those clues here. Some of my favourites. And why are they my favourites? Because they prove that idiots like you and any other supporter of NASA are nothing but mentally insane arseholes, Mr. Deadhead Kennedy. There you are, Mr. Deadhead Kennedy. There's one of the early discoveries of me, the brilliant expat Daffy. that photo was photoshopped and made in 27th of the 3rd, 2008. There's the data staring you in the face. Okay, mister?
So what? It is a composite, and that is public knowledge.
That's text on a screen. Okay, mister? None of the numbers on the screen match anything relevant in a Google search, so all you did was point at something. It's not even clear what, because you couldn't be bothered to explain it to anyone, and then flash some text up on the screen.
Remember what I told you? From what your eyes see, what does your brain deduce? There you are. Dead Kennedy? As far as the brilliant expat Taffy is concerned, here's what my eyes see and what I deduce. What this object looks like to me is a black figure. It can't be a shadow because there's no obstructing objects to create it. But it looks exactly like a bird perched on the back of an armadillo. You can see wings, a tail, 2 legs, a head and a beak.
Isn't that weird? Perhaps there was a crow flying over with an armadillo in its claws.
Okay then. I think I might be about done with Taffy because I legit don't even see what he's talking about. I see a rock. I don't see a bird or an armadillo. At all. I'm not being funny. Seriously, someone screenshot this image and draw some lines on it because I legitimately do not see a fucking thing there.
Okay, Mr. Deadhead Kennedy, here's the last of the 11 photos that Buzz coming down the ladder. In this photo, a very serious anomaly, and going on the saying of the famous Sherlock Holmes, from what your eyes see, what do you deduce? My eyes see one serious anomaly, and my brain deduces it's a deliberately inserted whistleblower's clue, where the whistleblowers are trying to tell us it's fake and not on the moon. Well, take a look at it here, Mr. Deadhead Kennedy. That photo there with Buzz. He's come down the ladder and he's standing in the footpad of the lem. And surprisingly enough, a discovery by me, the brilliant expat Taffy, something in the footpad of the lem. What the fuck is this? Let's take a look at it, shall we? We'll brighten it up. Wow, 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 look what we've got here, Mr. Deadhead Kennedy. In the footpad of Buzz Aldrin's lem, we've got a wee little pink flamingo. And he haven't got a spacesuit on. Now what's he doing up on the moon? Idiot?
It seems that, according to Taffy, flamingos live underground and this came up to bite in the boot of the spacesuit. Or is this just the top of the foot part of the boot? You decide.
Now folks, before we get down to discussing the photos, let me introduce you to 3 favourite old sayings of mine. First one, a good general never goes into battle without the ammunition to win it.
And he probably wears headphones to prevent acoustic feedback.
Second one, by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, eliminate the impossibles, and whatever remains, however improbable, it must be the truth.
Sir Arthur Conan Doyle would also have closed the street windows before he started recording.
And the third one, by the famous detective Sherlock Holmes.
You do know that Sherlock Holmes is a fictional character and never existed in reality, right?
From what your eyes see, what does your brain deduce?
Correct, but sometimes your eyes also tell you, we need glasses. Okay, let's speed this up a little. We already know how brilliant and intelligent you are.
Okay, Mr. Empty Head Kennedy, here's the first photo I started out with in my earlier days, examining these fake Apollo photos. Now what I can tell you is this photo here now, which is supposed to be in the first photo taken after they landed on the moon. This photo, thanks to the brilliant expat Taffy's discoveries, this photo has now been deleted. Now, what I can tell you, Mr. Dead Ed Kennedy, is at the time I first examined this, I could find 18 anomalies in this photo, proving it to be 100% fake. As time has gone on, I've discovered more. There's a lot more than 18 on this photo. And now it's been deleted thanks to the brilliant Expat Daffy.
Like I already said before, this picture is literally all over the internet, and in the original size of 4175 pixels and not the half VGA size you always use.
Initially, over 18 anomalies discovered in that photo. I won't be wasting too much time on all of them here. I'll give you the link to the video I done 6 years ago on it. But what I will do, I'll show you a few of those clues here. Some of my favourites. And why are they my favourites? Because they prove that idiots like you and any other supporter of NASA are nothing but mentally insane arseholes. Now what I'm going to show you, remember the words of Sherlock Holmes. From what your eyes see, what does your brain deduce? There you are, Mr. Dead Ed Kennedy. There's one of the early discoveries of me, the brilliant Expat Daffy. That photo was photoshopped and made in 27th of the 3rd, 2008.
No, it was not made or created that date. And who created the text on your photos? The letters and arrows look very much like they are made by 1995 micrographics Windows Draw. Decades after the moon landings. To protect the originals, and I mean the still photos, that were taken with Hasselblad cameras, on 70mm film, could be digitized and enhanced in quality. They aren't created by Photoshop or whatever imaging software.
There's the data staring you in the face. Okay, Mr. Deadhead Kennedy? Okay, Mr. Empty-headed Dead-end Kennedy. Next thing we're going to look at here is what idiots like you claim to be the sun, up in the right-hand corner. You claim that's the sun, don't you? You are that thick. Well, I can tell you, I've discovered it's not the sun, it's a massive spotlight. It's a floodlight. And here's the proof coming up. There you are, Mr. Deadhead Arsehole Kennedy. There's the floodlight on top of this massive mast here. And if you examine that photo carefully, what you can see all around it is sets of support wires coming from the top down to the ground.
What is it with the terrible, out-of-focus pictures? The cheapest camera of that time could produce quality photos. But even with the terrible quality, it clearly shows UHF radio dishes, used for radio or television wave beam connections between radio and television stations in the days before the internet. And this one is possible a temporary structure. It isn't even a mast, it is a scaffolding framework.
There you are, Mr. Dead-end Kennedy. Take a look at this photo. What does that look like to you? Most probably you'll say, it's a guitar neck, showing the strings. Well, it's not, idiot.
No, a guitar does not have 5 but 6 strings, and this does absolutely not look anything like a guitar neck. Where are these 5 parallel lines in the Apollo 11 photos? I mean the real photos and not the low-resolution pictures you show all the time. They can't be the support lines, because they are on the 4 corners, in 4 different directions away from the scaffolding structure you showed. It just isn't a floodlight tower.
If you examine that LEM photo very carefully, examine the sun, what you call the sun, idiots like you call the sun, you'll find these wires coming from it. There's 8 sets of these wires coming from that spotlight down to the ground.
Because the support cables are stretched in 4 different directions, there is no way in hell that these 4, not 8, support cables can be projected as 5, not 4, parallel lines on a picture, with 1 blue and 4 yellow pointing arrows. And you call this evidence? Really?
Now tell us, Mr. Dead-end Kennedy, what the hell have you got a spotlight doing on the moon, on a mast, with support wires?
So far we have seen that the evidence of the quote-unquote brilliant expat Daffy, isn't even worth the pixels they are projected with on your screen. Please don't remove my comments on your videos again, Mr. Daffy. That is very impolite. What did I do to make you remove them all the time? You cannot be afraid of a 13-year-old anime girl, are you? You keep removing my very polite messages to you, while I only want to inform you that I will be releasing a new video about you. That will be next Thursday, the 18th of March at 9 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time on the Dutch Heretic channel. And probably a few Thursdays after that, at the same time at the same channel. Well, Mr. Daffy, after reading your answers to my comments, there are some things that need to be cleared up. Point 1. You have no manners, at all. Why do you have to be such a bitter person? Point 2. You say I am acting like a spoiled kid, but have you yourself in the mirror lately? You start insulting people that disagree with you as a greeting. I have clocked you on 57 insults, over a period of 15 minutes of you speaking. And you have the audacity to put a "Stop the Hate on YouTube" video online? According to that title, you should have deleted your channel right after that video. Point 3. You are a liar, saying, I switch off the comment sections of my video. Here are the screenshots to prove that all comment sections are open, even to you. And already you call me an idiot? Well, that was expected from an unpleasant person as you are. Point 4. If you are so keen on real names, why don't call your account the Williams Within channel? I am Ivy Kunisida, deal with it. Point 5. Have you ever thought of cleaning your room before you start recording your videos? Do you receive guests in that pigsty? After this, sure, you can delete my comments, you can even block me. But I will make sure that the whole world will know that you, brilliant expat Daffy, are afraid of being challenged by a little girl. Be a sport, I will not delete your comments, so don't delete mine, okay? Welcome to part 2 of the Debunking Expat Daffy series. I have to go back to this picture for a moment. You present this picture as evidence against the Apollo 11 moon landing in almost half of your videos, while knowing this is not even an official NASA picture. Just what kind are you? Then you state, if the Apollo 11 landing was fake, all the landings also were fake. So, by your own words, if I show, this picture only proves that it is a work of art, and evidence of nothing else, all the videos you have used it in are all fraudulent. Right? The reason that it is all over the internet is because it is a famous, artistic photo montage, created in 2008 by spaceflight historian Ed Tynefelt from the Netherlands. Of course you find anomalies in it, it is a frigging digital painting. This picture is not created to deceive, but to be amazed. It is made up from multiple Apollo photos while the sun is computer generated. This means that your crazy idea of a floodlight creating 5 parallel shadows of the 4 support cables in opposite directions is pulled out of your arse. Look at this picture that shows the narrow angle of the Hasselblad camera. Ned, my producer, owns the civilian version of that camera, and it's still one of the best analog cameras. But it could not possibly have taken the picture that you keep abusing as evidence. So Daffy, presenting art as so-called evidence against the NASA moon landings, shows that you are a very dishonest person and also an idiot.
One of the videos I watched was a NASA video. It was produced in 2016 by Grumman Engineering, okay? It was titled, The Eagle Has Landed.
Yes, I have it here, only the part that it is produced by Grumman is true. NASA has nothing to do with it. It is not made in 2016 but in 1989. This video was produced by Grumman to celebrate the 20th anniversary of the Apollo 11 moon landing.
A video that I noticed a very serious and gnarly end. And thanks to me, the brilliant expat Daffy, I wish I'd have downloaded it at the time, but when I commented on it, it got deleted. It got edited and it got put back up.
The one I have here is uploaded in 2012 by a tiny YouTuber called Playlists001. You cannot re-upload a video and keep the same date, not even the same link. So far I call bullshit on this one, but let us continue.
It was the manager of Grumman saying that when they finished the lem, they found out it would not work. This was his words. We decided it would not work. It was too heavy. What we had to do was find a way of reducing the weight.
Yes, this is that video. And since this one is dated before what you were talking about, we can assume this is the real one. So, let us watch what the Grumman boss really said.
Many of the differences that you see are the result of our desire to save weight on the lunar module. This proposal model had aircraft-style seats. We realized that we really didn't need seats in 0G or even 16G. So in this LEM and in the real LEMs, the crew was in a stand-up position. So what we were able to do, since the crew was standing up, we were able to design it such that the window was very close to the crew's eye. And that basically cut down the glass area drastically.
He said the only thing we could do was remove the two seats and tell the astronauts they'd have to stand. Now, I wish I'd have bloody downloaded that. That was a big mistake of mine.
See? It is a good thing that I have it, so I can show the world what a liar you are. What the Grumman boss said is totally different than the crap you want us to believe. And this was filmed on 16mm film, not videotape, not MPEG-4. So to edit this out, NASA borrowed Doc Emmett Brown's DeLorean to travel back to 1989 to let the Grumman boss say something else? But there is more, right?
You see, that's the sort of videos. Do you know what was wrong there? Apollo 11 LEM, it couldn't carry two seats. And when it came to Apollo 15, they stuck a bloody rover in it.
Here it really shows how much of a deceiver you are. The LEM didn't need to be as light as possible to go towards the moon. It needed to be as light as possible to being able to take off again. And it is only this tiny ascent stage of the lunar module that returns, the rest was just abandoned. There are two possibilities here. You are a liar that deliberately leaves this out. Or you are stupid as fuck. Personally, I go for the first one. No one, not even you, can be this dumb.
When I pointed that out in some of the discussions, NASA took the video down. They deleted it, they re-edited it.
As painstakingly explained to you, it was not NASA, and it cannot be invisibly edited because the original was filmed, not recorded.
That was me, the brilliant expat Daffy, that noticed that.
Oh my god, and you say you are brilliant?
Here you are. Here's another one. AS15-82-11056. As you can see, this photo has been photoshopped. This is the Apollo 15 LEM waiting to take off. But the clue is in here as well.
Yes, another one of your damn fake, impossible photos. Here is the original, and how do I know that? First, it is in focus. Second, it is huge. Third, it does not have these ridiculous letters that you always plaster over it to make it seem legit. Can also do that. I just took your picture, made it black and white, then I slapped some dope name on it, the fake Photoshop stamp, and blurred the hell out of it. Oh, people. NASA photoshopped Daffy's picture. He is not really in that pigsty of a room. Shit, right. He really is in his pigsty room. The only thing fake here is the picture. There are always the same letters, from the same photo editor, on all your evidence pictures. The only thing that is fake are these pictures. Of course they're photoshopped, all by the brilliant, fake head Daffy.
And you've got the clue in this photo here as well. And this one here. Can any of you spot it? a clue that tells you that the photo is impossible.
You can only justify this by making up that the Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter doesn't exist. Are you really that desperate? Radio amateurs around the world have made it a contest who can receive the most data from that satellite. And all you can think of is to deny its existence? Really? Are you that dumb?
And here is another LRO. Something that tells you that it's completely impossible. Come on, anybody spot these clues yet? Right, we're now going from the LRO to Jade Rabbit, and it's really staring you in the face here. Anyone spot it? Well, my dogs know about it, folks. So come on, use your brains. Any of you spot it? A clue telling us it's impossible? And here's another one. The vital clue is staring you in the face. Something telling you this is completely impossible to have been taken on the moon.
Of course I can explain where your thought process disintegrates. A picture in the correct lighting on the moon will do just as fine.
Now, let me say, with this Jade Rabbit, due to new discoveries, the brilliant Expat Daffy will soon be proving categorically
that all your so-called proof is fake, and that you have no clue what you are talking about, and you are just a vile and nasty old man who loves to character defame and insult smarter people.
It will soon be proving categorically that Dirty Slack is a mentally insane psychopath, and so are all of his followers, who think this is on the moon.
That was quick. That was really quick. I think you have a lovely dog. Did you know that this breed is very smart? I feel sorry for that darling pup, having to spend its life with such an unpleasant person as its owner. I really do. This is Expat Daffy's YouTube channel. From the oldest to the latest videos. Going through this was sheer torture. Seeing all this hatred he displays in his titles, and in the videos it is even worse. When I started this series, I laughed at this weird little old man, having delusions of grandeur by calling himself brilliant. But the more I learn about him, the more my disgust about this unpleasant person grows. In the videos, the constant cascade of insults he hurls at his critics, well, let me say this. So glad that I cannot physically throw up. Never, in the 7 years I am on YouTube, narrating the Dutch Heretic channel, I have come across this level of disdain towards other. Coming from one single vile person. Mr. Expat Daffy, you are a horrid and pitiful excuse of a human being. And count on it, this is not the end of it. Hello, and here we are again, talking about what you do, Mr. Daffy. You cannot just blur some images, plaster the word Photoshop over it and call that evidence. Against each and every one of your terribly out of focus, so-called evidence pictures, exist high resolution originals that just by comparing them to yours, show that you are full of crap. No one believes you. Yes, there is the comment section where you have some really clueless followers kissing your butt, and most of all praising you for being so brilliant. For all the same, they can be sock accounts, to also be very useful to spy and write in the comment sections of your critics. I don't know what to think of this. So, we already sent your photo evidence to the empire of fables, fairy tales and pink unicorns. Really, I have even seen flat earth believers showing more convincing evidence than you do. And this says a lot, because some of them think a triangle is a pointy circle. But except for a few, they are not bad people. Perhaps misguided and gullible. Sure, but not bad. This chapter is about you, Expat Daffy, and his delusion of grandeur. What I noticed that you are in love with the word anomaly. This word is being repeated so many times in your videos, it completely loses its value. Why not mix that with words like exception, inconsistency, deviation, abnormality, deviance, oddity, peculiarity, incongruity, aberration, quirk, divergence, to name a few? All of these words basically have the same meaning. Do you think that the word anomaly makes you sound intelligent? Or perhaps, it is the only word you know to use for this purpose? Another thing, you claim photos and videos were deleted by NASA because you, the brilliant Expat Taffy, your words, not mine, commented on these photos?
This photo, thanks to the brilliant Expat Taffy's discoveries, this photo has now been deleted.
For as far as I know, the public online NASA photo archive is not like Facebook. There is no option to comment. What was your method to comment again? Really, what makes you think that a giant like NASA even reads your gibberish, let alone deletes something because of an anomaly you imagine to have seen in a purposely blurred picture? Which obvious misconception gives you the impression that you are that important? If, and that is a really big one, if they even noticed you, lots of companies have a so-called idiot wall, where pictures of people like you are posted to throw darts at, or draw mustaches on. And your face can be very well on a wall like these. Let me take another giant. Grumman Aerospace, that later became the Northrop Grumman Corporation, a global aerospace and defense technology company, with 90,000 employees. Do you really have the illusion they will delete things, because an old man like you claims something is wrong with it? Do you think they care about you, a tiny YouTuber, calling them frauds? Really? Every time you say, this photo has been
Deleted.
in real life, this never happened. I dare to say that no company, no YouTuber, no real existing person ever deleted something because an old grumpy Welshman with a bad attitude, living in Thailand claims he found an anomaly in it. This does not happen. But okay, by this you only make a fool of yourself, and that is your right. After all, everybody has the right to be laughed at, the right to be made fun of. When I scrolled through the videos in your list, it really upset me so much that for the first time in 7 years I was lost for words. And for someone who is basically CGI, this says a lot. Seeing the disgusting way you treat your critics, especially the way you try to make their life as miserable as possible by defaming their characters, made me so sad. I feel so sorry for these poor people. Just how did they deserve this absolutely vile treatment? But now a few days later I am angry. It takes a very special kind of hypocrisy to act the way you do. Do you remember this scene?
Who've wanted a debate with me, but I've sussed a lot of them out. They don't want a debate, they just want to do a character bashing video. And the latest is this idiot Deadhead Kennedy. What this video is about, it's a response to a character bashing video whereby this idiot tried to be polite and say he wants a debate with me. He just wanted a character bashing video.
And you cannot see that you, the brilliant Expat Taffy, are the one doing the character bashing and calling people mentally insane when it comes to your critics? Perhaps you, the something, Expat Taffy. Do you think this is acceptable behavior? Observing your channel and watching several of your videos, I have counted at least 17 possible community violations against you. And I believe this will more than enough for YouTube to have your channel permanently
Deleted.
And I have an ace up my sleeve. Do you know Mr. Ed Hangevelt? The creator of the Apollo picture you defamed in so many videos? The copyright holder of that photo? I know Mr. Ed Hangevelt personally, and informed him of your shenanigans. He is so tired of this nonsense coming from you and your friends. Just using this artwork and defame it as NASA fakery can deliver you a copyright strike. Or did you purchase a license to use it this way? I thought so. You cannot hide behind fair use since your purposes are pure of malicious intent. Reviewing your video list. That is again at least 5 copyright infringements for all the videos you abused the integrity of this artwork. During this video I have been polite and well-mannered. At no moment in this video I ever insulted you. This is the way people who disagree talk to each other, saying, "You are vile old man with no manners and basic human decency," is a statement of observation. Don't start to think that I have the intention to get your channel removed. I am not like you. And I repeat, I am not like you. I don't hate anyone, not even you. But if you don't change your behavior, there will come a day that YouTube hears about it, and then we can say, goodbye Mr. Taffy, your channel has been
deleted.
And it will because of your own doing. I hope you will do the right thing and create an apologize video to all the people you insulted and character defamed. But this will never happen, we all know that. This is all the time I was willing to waste. Still, I wonder if you could make a video reply showing me your best proof, without anomalies and blurry pictures, no misinterpreted video statements, just straightforward proof that the moon landings never happened. And also, no insinuations about my character or about me, as a person, and most of all without any insults? Can you do that? Just a little reminder. I will have the last video where I destroy the moon hoax origin on my own channel. The link is behind me, somewhere. Hello there. It seems that the not-so-brilliant Expat Taffy's channel is gone. How much as I would have liked to have played a part in this, he deleted it himself. You can find all about it in the comment section of the video of last week. Okay, on with the show. I am Ivy, and for those that didn't notice, yes, I am animated by computer-generated imagery.
CGI.
Except for most channels that know me as I am, when I write in the comment section of whatever debunk video, there will be someone who accuses me to be a sock. I may be an anime character, I am not fake. I have been around on YouTube since 2014 and I have been guest on several other channels. I am just Ivy, nothing more, nothing less. My activities are mostly comedy and satire, but sometimes I stumble over idiots like flat earthers, anti-vaxxers, feminists, social justice warriors, just to name a few. Now I could add moon landing deniers to that list. And yes, I call them idiots, because they are. And many of them are also dangerous because of the nonsense they proclaim. Lots of them think they are intelligence incarnated. But most of them cannot even do a uniform acceleration calculation, or even the simplest basic middle school science. To hide this ignorance, they simply deny science and all natural laws, and make up their own sort of syllogism. For the literary impaired, syllogism means the practice of opinionating on subjects of which one has only superficial knowledge. Because of this, they all have one thing in common, their evidence sucks and what they present is made up or manipulated, quote mined with pictures that are purposely blurred and of such poor quality that I am surprised anyone even considers believing it. But to quote P.T. Barnum, there's a sucker born every minute. And this is even more true today than it was in the 19th century. This video is in particular about moon landing deniers, Apollo detectives or whatever dumb name they introduce themselves with. From now on I will simply call them deniers. Like the self-proclaimed, brilliant, Expat Taffy claims, if you prove the Apollo 11 landing was fake, everything that follows is also fake. I like to go one step further. If the origin is fake, the whole moon hoax conspiracy also is fake, right? And I know this origin, and it is accurate up to the date it started. That date is June 2nd, of the year 1978. On that day was the American cinema release of the science fiction movie, Capricorn 1. In short, the plot of the movie goes as follows. When the first manned flight to Mars is deemed unsafe and scrubbed on the launch pad, anxious authorities must scramble to save face and retain their funding, and so an unthinkable plot to pretend the mission is hatched. The plan is to fake the Mars landing and keep the astronauts at a remote base until the mission is over, but then some investigative journalist starts to suspect something. I think you already feel where this is going. Beside the movie posters, there was also this TV commercial.
This is Capricorn Control. All systems are go.
They're looking for a reason to cancel the program.
What if man's greatest technological achievement never really happened?
We found out 2 months ago it won't work.
What if the most important event in recent history was a multi-billion-dollar fraud? What if someone found out? This is Capricorn 1, rated PG. starts Friday at a theater near you.
It is quite safe to say, this made a few of P.T. Barnum's proverbial suckers think that Capricorn 1 was a whistleblower documentary. The majority of evidence the moon landing deniers finds its origins in this movie. In case you want to watch it, the YouTube link will be in the end credits and the description box below. I won't spoil the ending, but here are some pointers. In Capricorn 1, a movie director is hired to make it realistic, and the complete landing site is staged to make it look real on TV. In The Conspiracy, someone made up that Stanley Kubrick, of 2001: A Space Odyssey, must have been hired to stage and film the moonwalks. In Capricorn 1, the faked images shown to the public are terribly blurry, like the first, Primitive Life, TV broadcasts from the Apollo missions. In The Conspiracy, the proof is blurred to make it look like as, according to the deniers, it in the 70s must have looked. In Capricorn 1, an investigative journalist, Robert Caulfield, played by Elliot Gould, becomes the whistleblower. In The Conspiracy, the brilliant expat Daffy replaced him by the whistleblower that created a flamingo head on Buzz Aldrin's foot, and the shadow of a crow carrying an armadillo in its claws, and there are many more of these imaginary clues. Well, I think you can predict the rest. This conspiracy theory was taken over by next generations of deniers, and Capricorn 1, the movie, got lost in history. The newcomers started to find, and this means fake, their own evidence, like this short clip where an Apollo capsule is pushed from a plane, according to the deniers, to fake the Apollo 11 splashdown. Here is the full clip that shows what these scammers conveniently left out.
Parachute drop tests are being conducted by the subsystem contractor Northrop Ventura at the Navy's El Centro, California test facility. A modified C-133 aircraft is used for the tests. The last of 12 Block 1 qualification drop tests was conducted in February 1966. Block 2 qualification testing is scheduled to start in mid-1966.
I think this has adequately proven that this whole moon landing hoax has been made up with this movie as origin. And if the origin is fake, the whole moon hoax based on this is fake, right? But I already predict that if there are comments, lots of them will say, Capricorn 1 was purposely made to expose the moon landings were all faked. To quote Mark Twain, never argue with stupid people, they will drag you down to their level and then beat you with experience. All these conspiracy theorists have this in common. They cannot debate without shouting, and throw insults at the opposition. And they are surprised that no one even wants to talk to them because of this? And when someone, in this case Kevin Kennedy, a very knowledgeable space enthusiast and author of several novels, very politely asks expat Daffy for a discussion, he gets 57 insults, within 15 minutes of Daffy talking in return.
In your hands, Mr. Get Brain Kennedy. You are the most stupid, idiotic arsehole I've ever come across.
And that was followed by several more insult-filled reply videos. I hope that at least some of these deniers realized in what a dumb conspiracy theory they believe. If you liked this video, or even if you didn't, leave a comment below. I really look forward to reading how moon landing deniers will defend their delusion after this. Perhaps I can make more of these videos. I am beginning to like making fun of these peculiar species named conspiracy theorists. For goodness sake, I hope they are sterile and become extinct in evolution. Hello, this is the Dutch Heretic channel, and I am Ivy, the host on all of Ned McRant's channels. Ned and I put a lot of work in our videos, and would really like to see our channel become bigger. So please, hit that like and subscribe buttons and ring that notification bell. We are not monetized, so get nothing from YouTube, but if you want to help us, please consider to help us at www.patreon.com/DutchHeretic. We want to do more, with better animations and shit. Your help will be very much appreciated.